Welcome to this edition of Collier Focus. On today's show, we'll take a look at the Board of County Commissioners meeting. The reevaluation of new FEMA flood maps takes another step forward. And code enforcement gets a new weapon to fight roadside signs. I'm Troy Miller. We'll cover these stories and more next on Collier Focus. Stay tuned.
Whether reporting on the latest news stories or hot issues, taking a look at county government services, or announcing what's happening around the county, this is Collier Focus, bringing government home.
At the recent Board of County Commissioners meeting, the board took another step in its long-standing dispute with the new FEMA Digital Flood Rate Insurance Maps, or DFIRMs. The concerns center around whether or not FEMA is using the latest and most accurate ground elevation maps. Growth Management Deputy Administrator Nick Casalanguida explains.
The board about a month ago looked at the proposal for two basins that we studied and found that if we accelerated using the 2010 LIDAR, we'll actually take many homeowners who are right now shown in the flood zone using the old LIDAR and take them out of the flood zone. So today the board voted to move forward with an existing contract to do a change order with Thomas Hell & Associates. So they wouldn't be hindered by time. He'd be able to move quickly to do the other 10 basins that have not been done and also the coastal zone.
The new FEMA DFIRMs were based on 2003 LIDAR maps, and there is now 2010 LIDAR maps available. We will keep you posted as this story continues to unfold. The board heard a recommendation to accept changes in EMS protocols instituted by Medical Director Robert Tober. In a letter written to the board, Dr. Tober outlined his desire to temporarily suspend some components of the tiered response program until changes can be made. The board instructed staff to meet with all agencies in the county to come to an agreement.
The biggest challenge that we seem to be facing is with the dispatching of calls and how in this county with 9 different fire districts, how units respond to medical emergencies. In some districts, they don't necessarily respond to an alpha call, which is a low severity of call. In other districts, they only go if you request, and we just want some kind of consistent way of response to medical emergencies here in Collier County. So I think what the board has suggested is exactly what we wanted to do, was bring all the players into a room and try to set some guidelines that we can all live with and therefore provide a better service to the county.
Page went on to say that he expects to report back to the board in May. If you post small advertising signs along county roadways, you may soon be getting a call, but not from a customer. On the consent agenda, the board approved the establishment of a new auto dialer system that will be calling the numbers on those signs to let those responsible know that they are breaking the law.
What this new program will do is that utilizing a computer software program and a computer is it'll automatically dial the owner and tell the owner that they need to go and pick up all the signs that they've put next to the roadway or put in the medians where the plantings are. And sometimes they get very creative and stand on a ladder and nail them to telephone poles or attach them to street lights and etc. So it becomes not only a nuisance for the drivers and for the community members at whole, but it also detracts from the community. So this new program will be an automated program in lieu of each of the investigators having to come back to the office and call these businesses and tell them that their signs are illegal.
The new computer program should be set up within 90 days and will start calling numbers morning, noon, and night in an effort to eliminate these signs from our roadways. Some recent park improvements that came in under budget have allowed the board to reallocate some funding to be used in other park projects that are pending. Sugden Park improvements, the Goodland Boat Park, and North Collier Regional Park are all some of the recent projects that came in under budget. Some of the savings realized will be used for future debt services, while some will be used for other park projects.
We have 2 projects. That would be the Immokalee South Park and then the Margood Park. And both of those are in the process now being bid, and those numbers are starting to come in. And because of the numbers, we've added a little extra money to those projects to make sure we can take it through to construction, final construction. So those 2 projects right now are on the books. And then we have Bayview, which is the expansion of the parking lot inside the park itself to add about 40 parking spaces, where we have a grant. And then we have some savings from the Goodland boat ramp that we're going to apply toward that since they're both boat ramps. And then we have 2 projects that are still kind of on the books waiting for future development to come along, and that's the Eagle Lakes Community Park, to put in a community center, pool, fitness center in that location. And then out by Orange Tree Waterways in the fairgrounds, we have some land out there as well. That we have a big Corkscrew Island regional park that we're planning out there for future development, and we've added some funds into both of those accounts to help us get a little closer to putting those parks into the system.
The money allocated to future debt services means that the Parks Department will not have to borrow general fund money to pay off debt until at least 2014. The board approved the criteria for establishing new district boundaries for the BCC based on the 2010 census. Based in the census, each district should now have about 64,000 residents. That means districts 1, 3, and 4 need to expand to add residents, while districts 3 and 5 need to contract and lose population. Here's a little on how that process works.
We have a GIS capability, which is, simply put, it's map drawing capability linked to population data. So as you move the boundaries of a proposed district, the population shifts. And that's basically how it works, is draw different boundaries and see what the population is, because the number one objective is to achieve an ideal or equity population. So if you draw a boundary to a certain location, you see what that population is, we have an ideal population figure we're trying to reach. And so we get one district, then we got to go to the next district, and again, to get 5 that are at or as close as possible to that ideal population, and while maintaining as contiguous and compact as possible districts. We don't want long linear snake-shaped districts. We want them to be uniform as much as possible.
Within the next few weeks, new sets of maps will be drawn up, and over the course of a few months, they will be displayed in public meetings. The board is scheduled to officially approve the new district maps in September. The school board has already voted to utilize the county's commission districts for the new school board districts. One of Southwest Florida's oldest landmarks and tourist attractions is facing an unusual threat from new development. Florida Georgia Grove LLP owns the property to the north of the nationally famous Smallwood Store in Chokoloskee. Recently, without notice to the public, the company began to bulldoze and close off Mamie Street, which for the past 60 years has served as the only access to the Smallwood Store and Museum. Commissioner Jim Coletta talked to us about the current state of things and what the board's next step is.
At this point in time, the museum store is shut off. Mamie Drive is gone. There's no way to get to the museum unless you know the secret way down Calusa Drive and through a little footpath through the swamp to get to it. So in all purposes, it's gone. So what can we do to restore it? Well, we found out that the county, under Florida statutes, has every right to protest. Because of the road that was there, we maintained it for more than 4 years. So that qualifies as a county road. Now, what my fellow commissioners have vested me to do is to go forward and meet with the developer, with the county attorney, and see if some reasonable agreement can be reached to be able to restore the access to that store where it was originally or very close to it. Failing that, I'll come back before this commission and we'll talk about our legal options that we have.
We will keep you posted on the talks with the developer. The board recognized the Health, Human, and Veteran Services Department for winning a major award. Collier County was among 14 communities across the country presented with the Gabe Zimmerman Award for public service during the 2011 National Community Development Association Legislative and Policy Conference in Washington, D.C. The award recognizes communities which have used the Community Development Block Grant Program or the Home Investment Partnerships Program in an exemplary fashion to better the lives of low-income people and neighborhoods. Founded in 1961, Fun Time Early Childhood Academy was housed in a double-wide trailer until Hurricane Wilma dealt a devastating blow to the aging structure in October of 2005. A campaign to build a new 8,000-square-foot facility received funding support from FEMA, Naples Children and Education Foundation, and the City of Naples, while Collier County contributed $275,000 of its CDBG funds to the important project. Well, it's time for a break. When we come back, the Emergency Management Department has a disaster drill in order to be prepared for the real thing. And Team Depot donates their time and materials to make some improvements at Eagle Lakes Park. All of that and more when Collier Focus continues.
Hey, parents, want to spend quality time with your kids and help your community at the same time? It's easy to do when you volunteer with Florida 4-H. Every year, more than 12,000 people share their knowledge and time with children from across the state. Through a variety of programs and events, these volunteers act as positive role models for the young people in their communities. These mentors use their life experiences to advise, support, and help make a difference in the life of every child they meet. To find out how you can be a volunteer, contact your 4-H County Extension Office or log on to florida4h.org. Florida 4-H, making the best better.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Collier Focus. On April 27th, the Naples Airport played host to a mock disaster. The Collier County Department of Emergency Management teamed with regional agencies in a full-scale mass casualty and hazardous materials field exercise. Dan Summers, director of the Collier County Bureau of Emergency Services, sets the scene.
Our goal today as part of this event, which really wound up being an emergency exercise, but our goal today was to fold in a number of challenges for our responders and our hospitals. We had terrific support from all the fire agencies, emergency medical services. The drill coordinated as a function of emergency management. This is just part of the rest of the day. Later today, the hospitals will be evaluated. Some components within the Emergency Operations Center will also be evaluated. There's a lot of behind-scenes activity today. The mobile command vehicle working with Naples Airport, Naples Police, Naples Fire, Collier County Sheriff, 911, Naples Dispatch. All the agencies are working together today, and we rolled in a number of scenarios in this particular exercise. A simulated plane crash with fire, chemical contamination. We hit it all today. And as you have in exercises and drills, you have some challenges. And one of those challenges we had today was heat, humidity for our mock victims, as well as the big fire activity we had yesterday, and maybe even some likelihood of some more wildfire activity this afternoon. So it's been kind of a tough day, but we learned a lot today. We've got a lot of evaluators. We'll have some critiques, some reviews. Some of this we may go back into the classroom and practice and rehearse again just to correct any of the deficiencies or tweak some of the things that we needed to do in our emergency plan. But we had a really good day. As you do during these exercises, you learn a few things. There are a couple of things you need to go back and practice. And from all of that, we've had a successful day. Well, one of the things that we do within our Homeland Security coordination element in the Collier County Emergency Management Office is that we take on that initiative for spearheading community-wide exercises. And so today, we're actually exercising hospitals, airport, hazardous materials, mass casualty, field communications, EOC communications, and 911 communications, both at Naples Dispatch as well as Collier County Sheriff. So a real hats off to all of those agencies who provided the resources, the personnel. This has been a planning effort for almost 5 months, and we do this in yearly cycles so that we take full advantage. We don't exercise as an individual agency, we exercise as a community.
Summers went on to give a special thanks to all of the student volunteers from the Lorenzo Walker Institute. The Collier County Parks and Recreation Department has partnered with the Home Depot Foundation and the Home Depot store at Pine Ridge Road to build some benches and other amenities at Eagle Lakes Community Park. The Home Depot Foundation is an ongoing partnership with nonprofit organizations that has donated millions of hours, tools, and supplies each year to community service projects.
We got a lot of work going on. We've got about 50-60 volunteers that are going to be out here today. We've got some triple shade structures going on, some double shade structures, a whole bunch of single shade structures going on. We've got a lot of benches going up over here to get some more seating, some picnic tables so that families can come out and have lunches with their children over by the water feature. We've got a couple tree benches going in.
There were over 50 Home Depot volunteers donating their time and effort from stores as far away as Cape Coral. The improvements in Eagle Lakes Park will be followed by a similar project at East Naples Community Park in May. Goodland Boat Ramp will be closed May 2nd through the 13th for modifications designed to improve launching. We spoke to project manager Clint Perriman about what changes are needed.
During the course of construction, we had a redesign modification consideration by the sub-consultant. We took that design consideration, which shortened the original length of the boat ramp by 15 feet. And of course, we presented it to our design consultants at the time, Johnson Engineering, and they felt that the design was appropriate in order to consider the remodification. However, after we completed construction, and once the project came under opening to the general public, we had conditions of extremely low tide conditions where boaters were finding it difficult to launch their boat. So, of course, we had a discussion with the design consultant and realized that it really should have been the original design to maintain the original length, which extended it to 80 feet. So we then went through a process of negotiation, holding the design consultant responsible for not assuring that it was built to the original design specification. So in this case, we're now extending it in order to follow through with the original design, which is extending it 15 feet. And in this case, boaters will be able to launch during low tide and not have the issues that they're currently experiencing during low tide.
For a full list of Collier County boat ramps, go to colliergov.net. Now let's take a look at some upcoming Collier County government meetings. The following meetings are all held in the board meeting room on the third floor of the main administration building, 3299 Tamiami Trail East, at the Collier County Government Center, unless otherwise indicated. On Wednesday, May 4th at 9 a.m., the Environmental Advisory Council will meet. The Planning Commission will meet on Thursday, May 5th at 9 a.m. And on Tuesday, May 12th at 9 a.m., the Board of County Commissioners will meet in regular session. For more information on county government or to inquire about other meetings that have been scheduled since the taping of this program, contact the Communication and Customer Relations Department at 252-8848 or via email troymiller@colliergov.net. You can also click on our website at colliergov.net for more information. It's time for a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's going on in the county parks when Collier Focus continues.
Once they've outgrown their toddler seat, they're still not ready for adult safety belts alone. 4'9" is the magic number. Until then, kids need a booster seat. Make sure your little pumpkin gets there safely. Visit boosterseat.gov.
Hey! What is your problem, man?
You're welcome.
What the heck is wrong with you?
What do you mean?
Don't give me that. All right. What's going on here, fellas?
The missile was about to hit the school. I just acted as fast as I could.
That doesn't change the fact that I don't have a car anymore. Who just throws a person's car at a missile?
You're serious?
Yeah. Who's going to pay for my car?
I guess I could.
Do you even have a real job?
Yes.
Do you have insurance?
I saw the whole thing. Call me.
Welcome back to Collier Focus. Now, let's take a look at some of the many fun and interesting programs being offered through the Collier County Parks and Recreation Department. After School Adventures offers parents a safe and fun environment for their children when school is not in session. The program is for children from ages 5 to 12 and runs weekdays from 2:40 p.m. to 6 p.m. from January 2nd to June 2nd. The program is available at East Naples, Immokalee, Max Hass, Veterans, and Vineyards Community Parks, and the Golden Gate Community Center. For more information, call 252-4000. The Golden Gate Aquatic Facility offers youth aquatic lessons for children in 5 different levels based on their current abilities. There are several options for dates and times, So if you want more information on schedules and costs, call the Golden Gate Aquatic Facility at 353-7128. If you have arthritis and are looking for a low or no impact exercise, then the Golden Gate Aquatic Facility has the answer for you. Instructors for these classes are all trained by the Arthritis Foundation, and the exercises are specifically designed to give you a good workout with little or no joint impact. Classes are Fridays and Tuesdays from 11 a.m. until noon and are $5 each. If you want more information on the arthritis exercise class, call the Golden Gate Aquatic Facility at 353-7128. Is music missing in your life? Then consider guitar lessons in the park. These classes are designed to teach you the basic skills you need to start playing the music you love. The classes are available at both Max Hass Community Park and in the Vineyards Community Park for both beginners and advanced. For specific information and cost and schedules, call 252-4000. If you are interested in quilting, then the Naples Quilting Club is the place for you. They meet every Thursday from 1 to 3 p.m. at the East Naples Community Park, and the cost is free. If you feel like trying the tango, then sign up for ballroom dancing classes. This course will introduce and review a new dance each week, including the foxtrot, the tango, the rumba, and swing dancing. So put on your dancing shoes and meet at East Naples Community Park on Fridays from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. The cost is $5 per class. Learn how to be the best babysitter at Babysitting Boot Camp. The course is designed to teach all the basics in babysitting, including CPR and first aid training. Participants must be 11 years old and must attend all classes. For more information and costs, call 252-4000. If you're having trouble controlling your canine, then basic dog obedience may be just what you need. Using consistency, repetition, and positive reinforcement, this course helps owners learn how to communicate with their trusted companions. You will also learn handling skills, basic obedience, cues, and verbal commands. Basic dog obedience is for dogs 4 months to 10 years old. The class meets on Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. at Veterans Community Park. For cost information, call 252-4000. There's a whole lot more to do in Collier County, not mentioned here on Collier Focus. For information regarding the location of county parks and other activities, contact the Parks and Recreation Department at 252-4000 or the Collier County Communication and Customer Relations Office at 252-8848. Well, that's all the time we have on this edition of Collier Focus. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.